Today, we're looking at a major turning point for Sarah Ferguson, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, and the home that has shaped their unusual life together for nearly 20 years. Royal Lodge, once a symbol of their complicated yet enduring partnership, is about to lose one of its key residents. And this time, it isn't speculation. Sarah is preparing to leave, and her own representatives have now confirmed this on the record. This shift follows a difficult period for both of them. In late October, King Charles formally removed Andrew's remaining royal styling. That meant he could no longer use the title prince. It was the clearest signal yet that the palace intends to distance the monarchy from anyone tied to Jeffrey Epstein. Once that decision was announced, questions about Royal Lodge immediately resurfaced. The property had long represented a level of status, comfort, and continuity that Andrew, in the palace's view, no longer deserves. For years, their arrangement confused the public. They divorced in 1996, yet continued to share the same home, often appearing as a united household. Depending on who you asked, their living situation was described as friendly, practical, or simply eccentric. Whatever the interpretation, it worked for them, and it projected an image of Sarah choosing to remain by Andrew's side no matter how intense the public pressure became. Now, that arrangement is finally ending. A representative for Sarah confirmed to People magazine that she is, quoting directly, assessing a number of options currently, and no final decision has been made about where she will live next. They also took the opportunity to deny two circulating stories. First, the rumor that she might move into an annex attached to Princess Beatrice's property in the Cotswolds. Second, the claim that she would move to Portugal to live with Princess Eugenie. Her spokesperson dismissed both. It is worth pausing on those possibilities because they reveal what Sarah doesn't want. The Cotswolds idea would have placed her in a small granny annex on her daughter's land, a situation that felt more like storage than a fresh start, and certainly not the lifestyle she has been used to. The Portugal option would have moved her entirely out of the Windsor orbit and away from the network she heavily relies on. According to insiders, neither appealed to her at all, and the spokesperson's firm denial makes that clear. A source close to Sarah told People that she has already been planning to move into a separate residence. They emphasized that she never asked for a property or any special provision for herself. She intends to build an independent life. Another insider put it simply, she is going to move forward independently. When multiple sources use the same language, it's rarely accidental. It signals a deliberate shift away from Andrew and toward something she can control. Meanwhile, Andrew is expected to relocate to another property on the Sandringham estate. The details remain vague, but whatever comes next for him will happen quietly, behind closed doors, and under far more supervision than he has experienced before. His days of relying on the space and privacy of Royal Lodge are over. For their daughters, this change carries emotional weight. Royal Lodge is woven into some of their happiest memories. Princess Eugenie held her wedding reception there in 2018. Princess Beatrice married nearby at the Royal Chapel of All Saints in 2020 before returning to the lodge for private celebrations. For both sisters, the house represented security and deep family ties. Losing that space is not just practical, it is personal. All of this is happening because the pressure around Andrew's past has intensified again. The posthumous memoir of Virginia Giuffre renewed the allegations against him, serious, shocking, and deeply disturbing. Andrew has always denied them, but the public reaction was immediate. Suddenly, headlines once again linked him to Epstein, and newly revealed emails showed he had lied in his television interview. The palace was forced to review its position, and Andrew once again withdrew from public view. These leaked emails also pushed Sarah back into the spotlight. A resurfaced 2011 email showed her referring to Epstein as a supreme friend. The wording sparked widespread criticism, leading several charities to distance themselves from her. Her spokesperson said the email was written under duress and insisted she, like many, had been taken in by Epstein's manipulation. Still, the message created new backlash at a moment when she is trying to rebuild her reputation. Which brings us to the heart of this story. Sources close to Sarah say she is actively exploring opportunities to establish herself independently. This includes potential television work, a speaking circuit, and the long-rumored possibility of a memoir. Her goal is financial autonomy and securing her daughter's futures. Simply put, she can no longer afford to be tied to Andrew's situation, and she is urgently trying to separate herself. But will this make the world forget her own involvement in the larger story? That's what makes her spokesperson's statement so significant. It marks a clear shift away from the tone we've heard for years. The unwavering loyalty she showed during Andrew's crisis appears to be fading, at least in practical terms. She is no longer framing their shared life as unbreakable. Instead, she is preparing to leave the home that symbolized that bond, perhaps for good. Her next chapter is not yet fully defined. The address is unknown. The timeline is uncertain. But the direction is unmistakable. Royal Lodge is entering a new era without her, and the relationship she once defended so fiercely is shifting into something far more separate. So here is the question for you. Do you believe Sarah is genuinely breaking away from Andrew after all these years? Or is this simply a temporary move shaped by outside pressure? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want updates on Sarah's next steps, Andrew's shrinking role, and the wider impact inside the royal family, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. There is much more ahead. Thank you for watching. Until next time.